Today I'm going to show you the exact uploading process and settings I use that helped me get this video to 5.6 million views, this video to 4.3 million views, and many others to over 1 million views. I think you get the idea. Now that I got the social proof out of the way, let me show you exactly what we do step by step. I'm going to tell you the most important things that you need to do, the things that are a complete waste of time, and the things that you need to absolutely avoid. And one of the reasons I decided to make this video is my own brother, who just started a YouTube channel, watched one of these videos and he accidentally checked something that tanked his views for a short period of time. And I don't want that to happen to you. All right, guys, quick break. This Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing a one-time only AI content creation workshop, and I will be giving you the secrets that many successful content creators use in 2025. This will be good for you whether you are somebody who just wants to create a personal brand to get a better job, whether you want to start a side hustle, make a little bit of passive income on the side, make a full-time income, or even start a full business using AI and content creation. And this is something that hasn't been accessible to most people until AI came along, because it simply would take too long to do. And you can check it out down in the description and the pinned comment below. Now, at this workshop, I'm going to be giving away my Vibe content creation AI. This is a GPT-powered piece of software that I've been working on, and it's trained on thousands of hours of teaching, my scripts, coaching sessions, etc. And with this tool, you can make a script without having to type anything. You just talk to it, right? It's kind of like vibe coding, if you've heard of that. And it'll basically write you an amazing script, which you can use for content. And I'm giving it away for this one time only at the workshop. So make sure you show up. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. And when you're done registering, make sure to click on add this to your calendar. Like I said, the workshop's completely free. The Vibe AI is completely free, but you do have to go to the workshop. And if you click add this to your calendar, it'll show up in your Google, Apple, or Outlook calendar. So you can make sure that you won't miss the chance to grab the Vibe content creation AI. And you'll also be able to ask me questions live. So it'll be a Zoom call where we can basically just talk to each other. So I look forward to meeting you. See you Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the link in the description, the pinned comment below. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, guys, so on your home page, you're gonna go to the top right here and click create and upload a video. Now, I already uploaded a video, but obviously you would take your file, you drag and drop it right here, and it would usually take a few minutes to upload. If you have like fiber connection, it might take a few seconds. If you have slower connection, it might take like 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, you just go select file, or you can just drag and drop your MP4 or whatever your video file is right here. So I already did that, and it was 10 free university courses that are better than paid ones. Now, a quick note here. First of all, this is an MP4, and the file name, I always put it as the title, okay? I've always done this. All the channels that I've started, I've always done this. Almost all of my YouTube friends that have successful channels have done this. Is there proof that it actually helps with the YouTube algorithm? No, there's no proof, but there's a lot of things where there's no proof that it helps, but just from trial and error, a lot of people have figured out that it helps. So I highly recommend that you do that, not only with the file name, but also with the thumbnail name. So here in a few moments when we upload the thumbnail, I also want you to make sure that the thumbnail name has the same title name as well. Now, with that being said, having the thumbnail as the title name really only matters if you're trying to get views from search. Now, let me actually give you a few examples. So I opened another window and I logged into my main account. So you'll see this video right here, the most useless degrees. I think this has the second most views on my entire channel. And you will see that when you go to reach and traffic sources, 63% of the views come from YouTube search and only about 20% came from browse features. So with this one, most of the views actually did come from YouTube search. And so therefore, most of the people that watch this video actually search something, it popped up in the search, and then they ended up clicking on it. Whereas this video right here, 9 boring but high paying remote jobs that are always hiring, this one actually got the majority of its views from browse, meaning they actually saw this on the home page and they clicked on it from the home page. And then you've got this third video right here that also did quite well. This one also generated about 51,000. And if you go to reach, you'll see that it's really a mix, right? You get about 13% from YouTube search, 26% from suggested, and 47% from browse. Now, the truth is, unless you absolutely know 100% whether your video is designed to get views from browse or search, I recommend that you actually just title your video in such a way where it could get views from both, because that's double the amount of opportunities. And you'll notice that that's exactly what I did with all of these titles. I made them in such a way using what I like to call the Moneyball method, where they were SEO friendly, For this one, for instance, the most useless degrees, people that type in degrees, college degrees, etc., this video is going to pop up for them. For this one, remote jobs, and for this one, work from home job, right? So it is SEO friendly. You'll notice that the SEO keyword is towards the beginning of the title. Now, generally speaking, you want your main keyword to be in the first 5 words of the title. So you'll notice the most useless degrees, I believe that's 4 words in. Remote is about 5 words in with this one. And then with this one, work from home job is, basically the first word. So by keeping it towards the front of the title, you're making it search friendly or SEO friendly, which SEO stands for search engine optimization. However, you want your title to also sound attractive and you want it to be very clickable. And so you'll see here, the most useless degrees, ... Notice that I didn't capitalize any of the words except for the very first one, and I have a ... at the end. I very muchly did that on purpose because I wanted the title to basically sound like I'm almost texting a friend and warning them to not make this mistake. With this one, I also tried to make the title relatively attractive. It's relatively short. It talks about 2025, etc. And with this one, it's the same thing. I wanted to make the title relatively attractive. So basically this way, you have double the amount of chances to get views. You can get views from search, you can get views from browse, and then of course, a lot of the time it's gonna end up recommending your views and suggested as well with related videos. So I could make an entire video just on that topic alone, to be honest with you. But what I basically recommend is to use the Moneyball method, make your title search friendly, and also make it attractive at the same time. So that's exactly what I did with this. 10 free university courses that are better than paid ones. And little secret here, I literally used ChatGPT to come up with this title. So yeah, 10 free university courses that are better than paid ones. This title was 100% created by AI, and I think it is a phenomenal title. And so if you want to be able to just make titles using the Moneyball method without actually having to use your brain, then definitely show up to the live training. All right, now let's talk about the description. And this is one where it really depends on where you are in your channel, what you want to do here. So one thing you can do with your description is at the very beginning, you can briefly basically tell them what it's about and also put some SEO keywords in there as well. So I'm just going to say something like, today I'm unveiling 10 free university courses that are better than paid ones. So this is what I usually do when I start a channel. But you'll notice that I no longer do this on channels once they've gotten past a certain range. Now, the reason I do this when I start a channel is because I want to give them a little bit more of a boost and I want to help the YouTube algorithm categorize my videos. And it's the same reason why I do the file name like that. And it's the same reason why I put the same thing on my thumbnail. I want to help YouTube categorize my videos. There's so much spam content out there. There's so many people uploading crappy AI content, and you want to be the algorithm's friend, right? You want to be friends with the algorithm and you want to help the algorithm do its job and make sure that your content is quality and make sure you're showing your content to the right people. So I'd probably put something like this. Maybe I'd change it up just a little bit. Again, you can just throw this into ChatGPT and say it in different ways and tell it to be SEO friendly. You can literally use the GPT that we created to do that. And then down here, after a space or two, you would put something like link here, okay? And usually I'd put some sort of emoji that has to do with whatever I'm doing. So for instance, if I'm doing a live event, I might put like a red dot to symbolize that it's live. So for instance, guys, I would probably put something like this for my channel, live YouTube training Tuesday, and something like that. Now, you'd want to make sure that this shows up what's known as above the fold, okay? It's very important that this shows up without people having to click more. So let me show you what that looks like on my other channel. Now, you'll see that this is generally speaking what it looks like before you click more, and you'll see right here, you can actually see the link itself. And so you want your link to show up above the fold. Now, generally speaking, for a new channel, I recommend that you only show one link above the fold. And the reason for that is because of decision fatigue. If you give people multiple different links that they can click, they're going to be less likely to click on any of them. And so when you start a new channel, I recommend, especially the links that you put above the fold or without clicking more, you just use one link. And during your video, you want to have a call to action to click that one link. Now, I have a big channel, and so oftentimes I will have multiple calls to action, Plus, there's just like multiple different audiences with different interests. And so I have more links. Don't do what I do, right? Don't do what big channels do when you're a smaller channel. Now, you might also notice that oftentimes if you premiered your video, this might pop up right here, which is a live chat replay. This is super annoying. And the reason for that is because you even have less space above the fold. And so look at this, like my links don't even show up here because of the fact that I premiered this video. And so in that case, if you're planning on premiering a video, you need to put your links even higher above the fold, right? It needs to be basically on the very first line. But yeah, something like this looks really good. I'm basically just making up all of these things. Additionally, you'll see here that I have this little part right here, which is YT Live 7/30/2025. So this is an old link. I'm not going to use this link, but this is what's known as a UTM link, meaning I track what videos people clicked on stuff from. So the way that I do UTM links, and I highly recommend that you do this as well, is you need to use something like short.io. That's what I personally use. And I highly recommend that you do the UTM links by the date that you publish the video. So this particular one, this video was published on like 7:30 with this particular UTM link. And so all I have to do is just look at the date that the video was published to find the right video that people actually clicked on it from. If you try other methods of doing the UTM links, it just gets really convoluted. Okay, this is the best method that we've used, and I highly recommend you do it as well. And that way you actually know what videos people are watching and then clicking on your stuff from. Now, additionally, under your most important link, which you would either put here or possibly even up here, again, just make sure it's above the fold. I like doing a short SEO optimized paragraph / summary, and this is where I'd put it right here. Again, this just helps, especially when you first start your channel. You'll notice that I usually don't do this on my channel now, and that's because I already have 1 million subscribers. I don't need to do it. But when you first start your channel, this stuff absolutely does make a difference because it helps the YouTube algorithm categorize what your channel is all about and what people it should be showing your content to. So this is something that you can easily have ChatGPT write this. And one thing I'll note here is don't keyword stuff. So basically what you do is you'd put a transcript of your video into ChatGPT, or you could just literally put the title of your video into ChatGPT and then just tell it to do a short SEO optimized paragraph that's keyword friendly but doesn't keyword stuff and is going to help the algorithm figure out what your video is all about. Now, additionally, you could do timestamps here. And I'm going to be honest, for 95% of you, it's probably not a good idea to do timestamps. And then you would basically just put timestamps that help them to figure out what part of the video they should go to. Most of the time, if you put timestamps, it is actually going to drop your average view duration, which is not a good thing. There are ways of putting timestamps in such a way where it might slightly help your average view duration or at least not hurt it. But overall, especially if you're new, I probably would not recommend doing timestamps. If you are going to do timestamps, make sure you do them in such a way where it doesn't reveal what that part of the video is about to the point where the person just sees it and they're just like, I'm going to skip this part. I already know that. Because that's what a lot of people do with timestamps. You want the timestamp to actually be intriguing. So if you're talking about, let's just say, YouTube analytics, you wouldn't want to put the timestamp as YouTube analytics. You'd want to put it as a new way of looking at YouTube analytics or something like that, something that makes it more intriguing. So yeah, I'm just gonna put here, just to be very clear, usually don't recommend, but if you are gonna do it, try to make it SEO friendly and try to make it intriguing. And again, this is something where you can just upload your transcript into ChatGPT and it can do the timestamps for you. All right, next, let's move on to the thumbnail. So in this particular case, I already have a thumbnail created. This is not a thumbnail tutorial video, so I'm not gonna show you how to do that. With that being said, if you've never created a thumbnail before, there's 2 tools that I recommend, and then a third one that's a bit more advanced that's also quite good. The first tool is Canva. Canva is amazing when it comes to creating thumbnails. I do recommend finding some good thumbnail templates that are actually proven in your niche to be successful, or basically trying to make your thumbnails similar to other people who are successful in your niche. So yeah, Canva is amazing, super beginner friendly. We really love it. We've also been messing around with a tool called Pixels, and we've had some pretty good success. It's one of those tools where, let's just say you make 10 thumbnails, 5 of them will be okay, and 1 or 2 of them will be really good, but you can actually use it to kind of model other people's thumbnails. So we do like Pixels as well. And then of course, the classic Photoshop. Photoshop is much more difficult to actually make the thumbnails, but you also have more control with Photoshop, right? So either of those three tools are great. Definitely test them out and see which one you like. I will say that Canva is free, so you probably want to start with that one. But yeah, so we uploaded the thumbnail, and notice that when we uploaded the thumbnail, it had the same name as the title. Now, additionally, tools like vidIQ have like thumbnail builders. You can generate the thumbnail right here. It's decent. I just recommend those three tools. I do love vidIQ though, just to be clear. All right, next is playlists. And this is yet another way that you can get views, especially when your YouTube channel is small. I highly recommend that you set up several different playlists and add your videos to those playlists, again, to help the algorithm categorize your videos. Now, it's very important that you add the right videos to the right playlist. And basically what you want to think in your head is, if this person wanted to watch this video, would they also want to watch these other videos that I've done in the past, right? And if that is yes, then add them to that playlist, okay? That's the simplest way to describe playlists. So you don't want to add them to like a million different ones. And so usually I'll add a video to like 2 or 3 different playlists. Next, it's asking if this video is made for kids. 98% of people watching this, it's going to be no. Not made for kids. The best way for you to decide whether your video is made for kids or not is to just think like this. So if it's like Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, or Cocomelon, where it's very clearly designed for children, then mark this as yes, it's made for kids. If it's something that children could enjoy, but grown-ups can also enjoy, like the majority of box office hits that are major feature-length movies, for instance, then mark it no, it's not made for kids, because it's made for everybody. And when it comes to the age restriction, I recommend for like most people, just don't do that. Now, when it comes to the paid promotion part here, you're supposed to mark this as yes if you have, for instance, a sponsorship, but even the biggest YouTubers on the platform, like most of the YouTubers, mark this as don't, right? They don't mark it as yes. And you can see that because it would show up as paid promotion on the video, and it's usually in the top left if they did mark as yes, but it doesn't. So at this point in time, I'm just gonna say probably doesn't serve you at all to mark it, but that might change in the future. Okay, so when it comes to altered content, generally speaking, I'm going to say no here. Unless your content is actually AI, then you would want to mark it as yes. Now, if your content has a tiny little bit of AI in it, let's just say that you used a little bit of AI B-roll, or maybe you used an AI voice because you messed up at a certain part in your video, you don't need to mark this as yes. Like tons of people have done that and they don't mark it as yes. But if your video is kind of like majority AI, then you probably do need to mark this as yes. But for most people watching this, they don't need to mark it. And you can actually view examples. They give you examples right here if you're confused about that at all. Now, automatic chapters, you can allow automatic chapters. That's totally fine. Featured places. Now, this one is extremely important if you're in certain types of businesses. So for instance, some of my clients are real estate agents and they're trying to attract somebody in a specific location. So if you're a location specific business, then you would actually want people to know where you are. And so not only would you basically tell them where you are when you're uploading the video, but you might even use like hashtags and have the city name and the state name. But for most people, it probably doesn't matter. So I would leave this unmarked. Now, this one right here, automatic concepts, is an experiment. Generally speaking with experiments, I don't want to be a guinea pig, so I'm gonna leave that unmarked as well. And then when it comes to the tags, honestly guys, what I do is I just use vidIQ. I think the tags help very minimally when it comes to helping the algorithm figure out what your channel is about. And I think even more importantly, the tags help when it comes to people that actually do ads, right? People that are paying for ads to show those ads on the right videos. I think that's what the tags help with more. But the truth is they're not gonna help you all that much. And I literally just do the automatically generated tags, okay? So this one, this one, this one, this one. I just go down the line just like this, and I just do the automatically generated tags, and I would fill this all the way up to 500. Okay, so next is language and captions certification. I always mark this as none. Video language is always English. I almost never do the recording date, and the video location you would only do, like I said, if you are in one of those situations where your location actually helps or you want to attract people from that location. So for instance, if you are a real estate agent in Las Vegas, it would be a very good idea for you to put Las Vegas, right? If you're like trying to get clients in the Las Vegas area or people who want to move to the Las Vegas area. And then when it comes to license, I almost always do standard YouTube license. I've heard some people say to do Creative Commons, but when I did that personally, we got so many spam accounts and it was just really not good because the spam accounts were promoting other stuff. They potentially were promoting actual scams. And so we did have Creative Commons on for a while because we thought, oh, okay, it's like they're doing marketing for us, right? Because they're promoting our videos and they do have to actually show who the original video came from. But I found that it just wasn't worth it because there were so many spam accounts that would just re-upload my content. So I keep this on standard YouTube license. However, I do allow embedding because that is literally just free marketing. People put your videos on random sites. I've even gotten my videos embedded on like .edu sites, like universities have embedded my videos, which is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely allow embedding. And then publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers. I think this, you should always have it on no matter what. Some people would say that you should only have it on if it's a video that you think your current subscriber base would enjoy. But the truth is, especially if you have a personal brand, a lot of your subscriber base will follow you even if you're talking about different types of content because they care about you. They don't just care about the topic, but they care about you as a person. So I pretty much always have this on. And then when it comes to shorts remixing, allow video and audio remixing, I usually have this on. Again, I just think it's free marketing. Why not allow people to do that? And then add your video to a category so viewers can find it more easily. So you can do people and blogs here. For a channel like mine, how to and style would probably be pretty good too. And then education. So education, how to and style, or people and blogs, all three of those would be completely fine for my type of channel. If you're making car review videos or you're doing like, how to fix your car type videos, obviously you do autos and vehicles. For some of these, it'll actually nail it down even further and have you explain exactly what the video is about. So for instance, with gaming, it would actually have you put the title of the game. With how to and style. With education, for instance, it might have you tell the type of education. So like a tips video, or a how-to, or a problem walkthrough, or a concept overview, etc. And in that case, you can actually put more information here, which if you do choose that, I would recommend to put that more information because again, especially with a newer channel, it will help the algorithm categorize you and help you get more views. But yeah, for my channel, people and blogs is completely fine. I would be comfortable with education, how to and style, and people and blogs. I would be comfortable with all three of those for an educational channel. And then comments on, of course, moderation, I put basic, and then just go ahead and sort by top. And then go next. When it comes to monetization, you obviously want this to be on anytime, like it changes this all the time. Anytime it gives you an opportunity to put more ads, basically just put more ads. Because the truth is, it's not gonna show that many more ads to people. And it gives the companies more times to like fire the ad slot, which means that you're gonna make more money, they're gonna make more money, and it doesn't show that many more ads to your viewers. So always try to put as many ads as you can. And they are getting better about automatically putting the ads, but yeah, put as many as you can. And then next is ad suitability, inappropriate language, adult content, violence, shocking content, harmful or unreliable claims, recreational drugs content, enabling dishonest behavior, hateful and derogatory content, firearms related content, sensitive events, controversial issues as well, etc. None of the above. You want to mark those all as none of the above. And then, of course, make sure that you don't have any of this stuff in your content, right? Follow their terms of service. And then you can submit the rating and go next. With all of this stuff, the only thing that I mess with is the end screen. I always want to put an end screen on my videos. And what I like to do is I like to actually point to the end screen, click right here to view blah, 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 at the end of my video. So I will almost always do the end screen, and typically I will put it something like this, and then I'll put it kind of towards the top here, and then I'll tell them to click on the video, right? And I'll do the same exact video. So I actually plan this out in my script, and I put that video in my script, and then I can link that video on the end screen and kind of put it right there around the same part. So in this particular case, it is the Google certificate tier list. So I'd go here, and then I'd go ahead and type in Google certificate. I'm not on the same account this time, so it's not gonna pop up, but that is what I would do in order to get the right one up. And then you can have it align and have a bunch of arrows pointing to it, which is what I do. I like to have a bunch of arrows pointing to it saying click here. Another thing you can do is have like a countdown timer that shows exactly how long they have to click on the video. And then of course I have this one here where it basically just allows them to subscribe to the channel too. Once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and click save, and then you're gonna go next. I don't usually add cards very often. The only time that I'll add a card is if I'm really trying to send people to a video. So for instance, if I'm trying to send them to a video that I know converts really well, like an interview video, a testimonial video, a case study video, or just a video that's almost like a VSL that I put on YouTube, which would be like a video sales letter that I put on YouTube, then I might put a card, but usually I don't do that. And then this last part, it might have some checks or it might have some questions for you, just some things for you to check out. In this particular case, we're good to go. So I'm just gonna click next. And then this is an important part. After you upload a video, you want to actually keep it either unlisted or private. And typically we wait about 24 to 48 hours. The tip section here shows that, it recommends you wait at least a few hours. I have found that for brand new channels, you should wait up to 24 to 48 hours and keep it either private or unlisted. And it recommends unlisted, so it's better to do that and then publish your video after 24 to 48 hours. And this basically gives it time to figure out what your video is about so it can show it to the right people, and also make sure that your video isn't spam or misleading, because like I said before, there is a massive amount of spam uploaded to YouTube every single day, and you want to help YouTube to categorize your channel as not being a spam channel. You want to help them do their job, because imagine how hard that is to deal with all these spammers and like AI accounts that are just mass uploading crappy content to YouTube. It's really difficult. So make it easy for them by doing this and keeping it unlisted for 24 to 48 hours, and that's gonna be good. Then you've got schedule. If you have vidIQ, it'll tell you the exact best time to schedule. I'm currently traveling, so it says 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. So you basically just go schedule, and then, it says 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. So you could do like 12 or 1 o'clock. Probably best to just click it there. 1 o'clock. You can even choose the time zone as well. And you can choose any time, August 28th, whatever. Now, when it comes to setting as premiere, generally speaking, I don't do this unless there's a video that I want to create a little bit of hype with. So for instance, if it's a video I know is not going to get a lot of views, for instance, me interviewing one of my students who was able to get a job, or one of my students who was able to grow their YouTube channel and make a bunch of money. I know those videos don't get that many views because interview videos in general just inherently don't get that many views. And so I might set a video like that to premiere just to build a little bit of hype. And I find that that does increase the amount of views, and it does increase the people who watch it when it goes live, which those people are going to be more engaged because they can actually talk in the chat as the video goes live. And you can even be live yourself talking in the chat too. So those types of videos, especially ones that are kind of bottom of the funnel, you know that they might make a lot more sales. It might be a good idea for you to set those videos as a premiere video. And then when it goes live, you actually can chat to people. And you're probably going to increase your sales by a lot by doing that. But generally speaking, I'd say like 95% of my videos, I do not premiere them. And then you would go ahead and click schedule, okay? Now, this particular one, it is now scheduled, it's loading, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to go ahead and delete this video because we're definitely not going to be scheduling this video. It's not even the right channel to schedule it on. I did it on this channel just because I wanted it to look more like the settings that you guys might have. Now, additionally, if you are starting a brand new channel, you want to go to channel feature eligibility, and then you want to enable these. So the way you enable these is you verify your phone number first. That's going to allow you to do custom thumbnails, upload videos longer than 15 minutes, and do live streaming. And then you also, after you do that, you can basically enable this as well, which is going to help you quite a bit. Now, you might say like, oh, I don't need any of these things, like upload more videos daily, all that stuff. Like, I'm not planning on doing that. You still want to do it because, again, YouTube is going to trust you more. So a lot of these things I tell you to do isn't necessarily designed to directly get you views. It's designed to help YouTube trust you more, which means you're not going to be stuck in the YouTube sandbox for a long period of time. So make sure you enable this, make sure you upload a valid ID, video verification, et cetera, and that will allow you to access these features, and it'll allow YouTube to know that you are not a spammer, which is great, right? They don't want a bunch of spammers on the platform. So yeah, verify your phone number and do all of this stuff, and do that as fast as possible, especially if you're uploading custom thumbnails. If you miss this Tuesday's live training, still click the link in the description in the pinned comment below, because there's a good chance that I'll be having one in the future, possibly even this coming Tuesday, so check it out and you'll be able to see. And additionally, I will be giving away one-time bonuses when you show up to the live webinars that are only available that one time. And I only do the live webinar one time. So I create a completely original webinar every single time and I present it. And so if you miss out on it, you'll never be able to see it again. Additionally, if you are ready to jump into YouTube coaching, if you're ready to start getting results, like a bunch of my different clients, like Nicole, who was stuck at 85 subscribers and was about to quit on YouTube, and we scaled her all the way up to over $80,000 months. Or Josh, who used his YouTube channel to get his dream job, then started a side hustle making $3K, $5K, $10K a month, and then scaled all the way up to $180K a month. Or Sean, who was stuck making $10 to $30K per month, and we helped him scale all the way up to over $500K per month. Then go ahead and click the link in the description and the pinned comment below to see if we're a good fit to work together. You'll watch a short video, and then you'll have the ability to apply to get on a call with us to see if we're a good fit to work together. And also check out the video I did where I interviewed Sean by clicking right here.